All right, it's late, but I am not a developer. And last month I got the $200 Claude Max plan. I have a list of all the stuff I've done over the last month because I was curious. So I asked Claude, hey, what have I done the last month? So, not a developer, not a programmer. I do marketing, entrepreneurship kind of stuff. Giphy, I helped a brand go from 20 million views to 7 billion views in the last 10 months. So, that's kind of my background. I am not an app developer. I built websites a long time ago, freelance, and kind of sucked at it. I just use WordPress sites because it was just easier. So, here's the stuff I've worked on so far. I've got 2 iOS apps that I'm heavily building. I'm not going to tell you too much because I can get outbuilt by some of you guys out there. And then I have a whole bunch of other stuff. So I have another kind of journaling app that I started to make for fun. I made a Mac app that's like a GIF creator app. That's kind of like the tool I wish that I had when we were doing a lot of GIF stuff. Let's see, website, apps, and tools. I made a beat sequencer, 4-track beat sequencer. I told it to model it off of like teenage engineering design style, and it ended up looking pretty good. But that's just there for now. Carousel generator. I have that actually in a Docker, which I don't know anything about, on my NAS, whatever, Synology. And so that me and my wife can use it to generate carousels. We have 2 brands to go with these 2 different apps that we're building. And both of them we just started like 3-4 weeks ago on both the brands. We're over 1,000 followers now, so not like hyper to the moon immediately, but also not bad. But for carousel generation, we have like a library of backgrounds and then fonts that we use. So now we can basically like paste in what we need for the carousel and it'll output all of our images that we need. So that was a tool, didn't exist. Made it with Claude Code, put it on my NAS. Now I can do it from my phone. My wife can do it from her phone. Super handy. We also did a content calendar in Notion and used the free credits from the Google API credits. You get $300 if you sign up for a Google API account, whatever the heck you call it. I think if you like enter your credit card information or whatever, it's a paid plan at that point, so you get free credits. So used up a whole bunch of that, making image assets mostly, and made a content calendar that's a lot of content for most of the year, actually the whole year. And sometimes we use it, sometimes we don't. It's kind of like a fallback at this point. Me and my wife still like to make our own stuff. I did a duplicate finder. I know the Synology NAS has a duplicate finder, I think, built in, but I let Claude make a script or a few scripts or whatever the heck it does. And that worked out really well. Same with the content calendar scripts. Oh yeah, I made a fasting tracker app for fun. And let's see, experiments, prototypes. I made a picture-in-picture extension because I was trying to watch something on Crunchyroll and the extension that I was using wasn't working. So I made that. Seemed to work out okay. I tried doing a trading signals agent with like astrology. So I learned about X402 and I was like, okay, well, what can I make that other agents will ping my source for like trading alpha? I think this is still a viable idea because a lot of agents that are out there they're trading money and things, are probably just trading polymarket. So what kind of edge, real or fake, ideally real, can you give to these bots and they'll pay you 15 cents or 10 cents or 5 cents each time or whatever. I ran a bunch of tests, no edge on the version of astrology stuff I was running. So I'm not even going to worry about that, but I'm sure there's tons of money to be made there. Let's see, a Pomodoro timer app, habit tracker, just kind of like basic boilerplate stuff. These are not like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million off it. They're just like, I've never built anything. How do you build stuff? Okay, how about that idea? I've seen someone build that. I did a Amazon, an Apple store. I can't even remember the thing. My brain's too tired. ASO keyword miner. So searching the App Store for keyword research using their API thingy. Let's see. Oh, an AI video clipping tool. I started doing that locally. And then I set up OpenClaw. Okay. Again, I don't know how to program, like, at all. I used to do Codecademy tutorials because I was like, oh man, I'm going to learn to code. And I did Python a little bit. And I think it was like when I got to like recursive, or not even recursive loops. It was some version of loops and something else. And my brain was like, nope, you're not going to understand that because nope. And I was like, but I can do it. And my brain was like, no, you can't. Not right now. So I never got actually good at coding. But I was able to do a lot of this crap. So, sorry, keep going. ADHD journal kind of idea. I also did an ADHD self-analysis, which, whatever. It's a DSM-5. Hey, Claude, can you run the DSM-5 ADHD analysis on me and score me based on what I tell you? And supposedly I got ADHD. So I went and saw a doctor. They're referring me to a psychologist. But the doctor's like, yeah, you probably got something going on. So, and I'm 37. Looking back at my childhood, holy crap, I probably had this my whole life and I had no idea. So, journaling app, workout tracking app, that beat sequencer showed up on this list for some reason. I've done so much content strategy, not even just for our two brands, but my dad, who's a boomer, wants to make content and even try vibe coding an app. So he's going to go for it hardcore, retired, and wants something to do. Let's see. Do some work in Affinity. Okay, so OpenClaw. I basically told it like, hey, you're going to be my ADHD resource, my second brain resource, because I have a really hard time, not always, but often, with like working memory, especially on ideas. I have lots of ideas, but I have a hard time keeping track of them. I mostly did it in Apple Notes before, and a lot of times I would text myself stuff, but it would get lost in the sauce. So OpenClaw, it's like a freaking godsend, because now it's bringing up stuff like, hey, remind me of this, or like tying all the stuff together in Obsidian. Never used Obsidian before, but I knew it had, it was like really good at making webs of information. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to feed OpenClaw just the stuff I care about, and the stuff that I think is relevant, or the ideas that I have, or other things like that. And I will have OpenClaw make a version of my brain and the ideas section of my brain that actually makes sense and is referenceable, and I can ask questions about, and I won't forget it. So OpenClaw, oh, heavenly. So I've got, let's see, I've got 6 cron, I don't know how to even say that word, things, automatic things. I'm doing it through Telegram, so that's really handy. I've got 27 topic categories. I've got 575 notes, which also includes the planning documents for each of these other repos that I created of all these ideas. Repos. Again, I don't program. I just started using GitHub like a month or two ago. Like I think I had my account for a while, and on that little daily tracker, it was like nothing. And I got my Claude Max plan, and it's like green all over the place. So that's kind of fun. Oh yeah, I did make an autonomous app builder in OpenClaw. So I give it an idea. It does research. Like there's a little bit, like 5 to 10 minutes of questioning, so it has a clear idea of what the heck I want to do. And then it does the architecture, development, review, testing, delivery, and then learning, so that it compounds learning each time. So sometimes I'll feed it an idea, just be like, hey, try building this. And I'll go to bed. And I'll be like, hey, what'd you learn? And, seems to be working out okay. I'm sure there are other dudes out there that are like really good at this, that are like miles ahead of me on that, but it's fun. It's fun to build that. And it seems to be working out okay. Builds an app in, less than an hour. Knowledge capture system, ADHD specific features. Let's go through that real quick. This is like the longest random video, whatever. So auto context injection. So the Vault search results surface automatically when relevant. Yep. Why did I save this? Every note captures my original intent. So I tend to share notes or X posts or links to GitHub repos. I know I can star that anyways on GitHub, but that kind of stuff with a little note of like, hey, what about this? Or hey, I think this might go well with that idea. Or remind me about this a little bit later, and maybe I'll implement it later when I'm at my computer. That seems to work out pretty well. If you're scatterbrained, OpenClaw, doing stuff like that, bro, life-changing. Thread continuity helper, passive connection building, current obsession tracker. Oh yeah, it follows my hyper focus cycles daily. So it's like, hey, you seem to be obsessed about this right now. Voice to structured thought. Voice messages become organized, linked notes. Cool. All right, infrastructure security. Key principles I developed. 48-hour validation. Okay, I didn't develop these. Creative burst strategy. These are more like I documented these and maybe iterated on them. Done is better than sure, whatever. What I learned: how to route AI models by cost and capability. Yes. How to build autonomous agent pipelines. Yeah. How to structure a second brain for ADHD. Yeah, I did that. How to capture knowledge from any source automatically. Yeah, generally. How to validate app ideas. How to go from 0 to working app in under 2 hours. And how to secure an AI agent system running 24/7. That's basically a way of saying, like, you used OpenClaw. Congratulations. So 1 person, 1 AI, 1 month, 25 plus projects, 575 notes, 6 automations running daily, an autonomous app builder, a personal knowledge system, all built by one non-coder with Claude as their only collaborator. So if you are thinking, oh yeah, AI can help like autofill my code or whatever, like, bros, I don't know how to program. I got my Apple developer account. So, oh no, some non-developer is gonna vibe code an app and put it out there. But like, give me 2-3 more months, there's gonna be crap. I'm gonna have like a full freaking pipeline of stuff. I'm setting up another developer account because I have my personal one, and I need to get my DUNS number to do my organizational one. My organizational one will have like my few apps, like the two specifically, and maybe a third in later this year or something, that are like very deliberate. And then my personal one is like, hey, I've got an idea for a fun app. I'm just going to build that crap and put it out there. Maybe make TikToks about it for a week or whatever. Like, this opportunity is crazy. And if you're not taking, if you're not doing anything about it, like, oh my gosh, I know people that code, like in real life, and they're like, oh, well, I ask it questions when my code isn't working, or maybe I ask it for ideas before I type in my code. I'm like, bro, I'm going to outbuild you. And you spent a decade coding. And in less than a year, I'm going to build more crap than you, and I'm going to lap you as a developer. Not because I know how to code, but because I'm freaking taking the tools that are there right now and doing something about it. So, do something about it. Claude Code is awesome right now. I hope it keeps being awesome. I will continue using Claude Code if it continues to be awesome. Sonnet 4.6, Opus 5 soon. I don't know. Opus, like, just freaking keep going. Obviously, Anthropic is shipping like crazy. So, thanks for watching. If you watch till the end of this, man, I don't know what you're doing with your time, but thanks for watching.